Hello, everybody. I can see you very much for joining to another one of our online classes. Thank you very much for those of you who have started writing. It's great to see you're here early and you want to learn some more English. I hope the lesson will be fun and engaging for you today, and it's great to have you all here. So thank you again for joining. Before I start and we wait for a couple of other students, I would just like to ask, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, which is just here. There is a big description below, and we explain who we are, the company, and if you have CPF, we can offer you free one-to-one lessons. So thank you very much for joining, Nariman, Didier, Veronique, Liliana, everyone. Hello. So the lesson today is about ordering food. It's not just about ordering. We're going to talk about different ways to cook, different foods, different categories of foods, and food in general. So for me and many of my students who I talk to on a daily basis, we all share one thing in common, and that is cooking. It's a really important skill to have. So we're going to learn some really important vocabulary, verbs, and phrases that you can use on your next holiday in England. For those of you who are just joining, thank you very much for coming. Hello to you all. It's great to have you all here. So to begin, let's start with some facts to try and encourage everyone to write and practice. So thank you all. So my first question is actually about a popular vegetable called pepper. Now, I always get confused between poivron and poivre. So pepper is the vegetable which we often cook in curries, we have in salads, and there are three colors of pepper: red, yellow, and green. So the colors of a traffic light. My question today is, which color, might help if I type in the chat, which color is the most or the healthiest? Which color pepper, for those of you who are just joining, I can write that, is the healthiest? Which color pepper is the healthiest? For those of you who are just joining, hello, thank you all for coming. We're talking about ordering food today, what food there is and how we can cook. Okay, Axel is really fast. That Axel thinks the red pepper is the healthiest. Let's find out, Axel. Okay, so we're having a few responses here, some different answers. Nariman has a very interesting answer. The black one. I wasn't aware. The black pepper, the salt. So in the vegetables, out of green, orange, or yellow and red, which pepper is the most healthiest? But yes, we also call pepper the condiment which you add to food with salt. Well pointed out, Merriman. Okay, so I think most of you have written down green, and you are correct. The green pepper is the most healthiest. So if you're looking to stay fit and active and positive in the confinement, please go out and buy as many green peppers because that's the healthiest one. So, Sam, maybe there are other properties that the red pepper has that the other one doesn't. It's great that you're asking questions, Sam. Please, everyone, ask them more. So, my next fact is, what food explodes when you put it in the microwave? So what food explodes when you put it in the microwave? So for those students who are unfamiliar with some of the vocabulary here, explodes is when something is destroyed, and it explodes. We say a bomb explodes. Okay, so it's the action of something breaking apart very quickly. And a microwave is not a utensil, but it's an item in the kitchen, a bit of equipment which you use to reheat food. So we have some very interesting answers. I actually learned last year, some of you have written down egg, that you can microwave eggs. You don't have to fry them. We can microwave eggs and you can eat them. Popcorn, fantastic, Hajar. Yeah, that's a great answer. Egg, corn, popcorn. We have a big mix of answers. The answer to this question is actually grapes, or raisin en français. So grapes actually explode when you put them into the oven, the microwave, sorry. Please do not try this at home. Maybe eggs too, Liliana. Maybe eggs too. I'm not sure, but thank you very much for that. Please don't try at home. Maybe they do. So let's start in the lesson today. So to give you a brief overview of what we're going to discuss, we're going to talk about different foods. Perhaps in France, I know there's a big culture in the food cuisine industry. England, there's not many food that we can talk about, but we can talk about different vocabulary you might use at a restaurant, the different kinds of vocabulary which you might use if you cook at home or you're eating at home. We're then going to talk about making sentences and asking in restaurants how to order. It's really important in English to be as polite as you can. Okay, it's always better to say thank you and please more than once than to not say it at all. So let's begin with just an open discussion. You all are such amazing students. You have great ideas. I'm really interested. What is your favorite foods and why? Okay, so please write me a sentence. Pancakes are your favorite food. Perhaps you're from Brittany. Why is it your favorite food? Why do you like pancakes so much? Do you like the flavor? Do you like the taste? Why do you like this specific food so much? So fantastic, Isabel. Rice is a very, very popular food substance which we use in many of our dishes, especially in Asian cuisine. I love rice, Isabel. Why do you like rice? What's your favorite meal with rice in? Tiffany, thank you very much for joining. Cheese is lovely. Fromage. My parents love cheese, and we always eat a lot of cheese with our pasta, in England at least. On our pizza, I really like cheese. So, okay, cheese is coming up a lot. Cheese is really nice, and it's one of my favorites too. Veronique, thank you very much for your contribution. You like Italian cuisine. You like pizza, maybe pasta. Fantastic. Okay, Pauline, thank you very much for your answer. This looks like a fantastic sentence. So Pauline has written the duck breast. So I must add quickly, Pauline, that in English, we often reverse things that are in French. So for example, in French, you say la voiture bleue, the car is blue. Okay, did I get that wrong? I do apologize. In English, we say the blue car, but in French, you say la voiture bleue. So we mix and swap the car and blue. It's the same with the duck breast. We say the duck breast. I like duck breast because it's sweet and salty at the same time. I completely agree with you, Pauline. It's really tasty, duck breast. Broccoli as well, fantastic. No, man, it's really healthy for you as well. We have loads of suggestions. Thank you very much, everyone, for your contributions. If I look for another sentence, I see Liliana has written a really big phrase here. So Liliana has written, my favorite food is Xuan dam dam food, because my boyfriend is from China and I eat it so much. That's fantastic, Liliana. I've never heard of that before, but it sounds delicious. I'd love to try some. Okay, if I scroll down and look for some more sentences, Hamza has written, because it is very variable, we have vegetables, meat, and flour, for example. So, Hamza, that's a fantastic answer. You've listed many things. Okay, so we have meat, cheese, and flour in your example. Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much, everyone, for your contributions. It's excellent to see you're all contributing again. And if you are a new student and you're struggling to follow, please read the chat. We have some excellent students here. It's really good practice to listen to English and to read English too. Please don't be afraid of making mistakes. That goes for everyone. It's a very friendly environment. I'm here to help. I'm here to help you on your vacations. I'm here to help English, so please ask as many questions as you want. Hello, Mark. It's great to have you here. Don't worry about being late. So let's move on, shall we? So again, we're talking about different foods. We have different foods in different periods of the day. So let's start from the beginning of the day. Breakfast. What does everyone have for breakfast? For me, I like to have fruit because it's healthy. I also like the taste. In English, you can say, I have a sweet tooth. And that means that you like to eat sweet things. So perhaps some of you can tell me if you have a sweet tooth too. What do you have for breakfast? Okay, Pauline has coffee, of course. I think many of us here in the chat will have a coffee when they start their day. It's really important to feel prepared for the day ahead. So a coffee could be the perfect way to start your day. Thank you for that, Pauline. Alina, cereal and milk. Yes. If unfortunately we have no fruit left at home, I will often make cereal and milk. Okay. Muesli, something healthy. Fantastic. Okay. Everyone agrees with the coffee. Tea and toast. Yes. For breakfast, we normally have really small dishes. We don't have a really big meal. Normally, we all have to go to work. We all have things to do. We're busy. So normally we have something very quick. Cereal, coffee, tea and toast, smoothies. We have eggs, bread, sandwiches. Fantastic. I'm just trying to read everyone's responses and try and give you feedback at the same time. So Mark, the meal is very important. You often drink coffee too with chocolate cake and pancakes. Fantastic, Mark. So Hamza has a question. And the opposite of sweet food. To say the opposite of sweet food, we have different tastes, Hamza, but a couple of tastes I can tell you. We have sour. So a sour is normally we use it for lemon to describe le citron. So le citron is very sour. It has a very intense flavor. We have bitter. If something is bitter, it has a very unique taste, and you could also almost describe a couple of beers perhaps as being bitter. Beer is quite bitter because it doesn't have a taste really. It kind of takes the taste from your mouth. We have sweet, as you said. So sweet can be candy, can be fruit, anything with sugar in, perhaps cakes if you add a lot of sugar. We have sour, bitter, sweet. We have many more. If I try and think of one, we have salty as well. There are many different ways we can use to describe a certain taste, okay? Let's move on, but I hope I answered your question, Hamza. Please ask me any more questions. And for all of our students out there, if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm here to help. Spicy, fantastic, Delphine. Épicant. So normally some Oriental cuisine, perhaps it's an Asian dish. Thai food is very spicy. Fantastic. Thank you for helping me out. So after breakfast, we have lunch. What do you have for lunch? I can see we have another question from Sam. Thank you very much, Sam. Sam has asked, what is the difference between the taste and the flavor? There isn't much difference, Sam. I think the two words are important because it helps increase your vocabulary when talking about the taste or flavor of a food. It's not very professional to say, this tastes salty, this tastes sweet, this tastes bitter. We always want to try and expand our vocabulary and use different words. So, for example, Sam, we can say, this pancake tastes sweet. The flavor of my coffee is a little bitter. So we've used the same words to describe the same taste or flavor of that food. I hope that helped, Sam. So lunch, what do we have for lunch? We have sandwiches again. Yeah, jam spreads. We have scrambled eggs. Egg with Tabasco. So that's spicy. Jean-Louis. Fantastic. Pepper. Fantastic. Perhaps you want to be healthy and have loads of green pepper. Excellent. Thank you for your contribution. Sandwiches. They're very easy. Normally, we're still at work. We have something very easy. We want to try and get back to work. We want to eat lunch quickly and carry on with our day. So again, as many of you have pointed out, we have perhaps some small dishes, things that are very easy. I normally try and cook dinner and then I take it to work with me the next day to make sure that I have a meal that's quick, fast, and easy. So if I have a look at some other answers, Nariman has answered, for lunch, I like big Greek salads with feta cheese. That sounds really nice, Nariman. And salads are really healthy and a great way to, a great thing to have for lunch. So Sophie has a lot of things for lunch: meat, pasta, cheese. You drink water, yes, or something else. You eat dessert. Fantastic. And I'm trying to look at all the different answers we have. We have sushi, we have salads, we have balanced diets, jam, soups, rice. So to give you an idea, we have many different types of meals which we can have in English. Okay, so let's move on. We've talked about our favorite cuisine. I think we've talked enough about dinner. We've talked about rice, sushi, some of our favorite dishes. So now I want to talk about the vocabulary in a restaurant. Okay, so the lesson is about ordering food. It's really important to know the vocabulary of where you are in order to have a conversation. For example, if I am eating at a restaurant and I do not have my food, I need to ask specifically for my plate, mon assiette. So you need to know the vocabulary inside the restaurant to help you communicate with the waiter who works there. So let's talk about some restaurant vocabulary. Perhaps it might be a good start to let you help me. So if I type in restaurant, what words can you think of that are related to a restaurant? So I said a plate. What other vocabulary can you think of a restaurant? Okay, so think about when you're sat down at the table. What can you think of? There's loads. So a menu, fantastic, Hajar. Every restaurant needs a menu. It's really important to know what you are ordering and what's inside. Perhaps you might have allergies. Perhaps you want to have something specific. Fantastic. Pauline has written the bill. Excellent, Pauline. So when we finish our meal, we need to ask for the bill. So in this scenario, when a waiter is present, you can ask, "Can I have the bill, please?" It means that you're finished with your dinner and you would like to pay. Fantastic, Pauline. Well done, Corinne, for menu. Fantastic, Hajar, the server. Yes, the waiter or waitress, as Nariman has pointed out. These are the people who you would ask for help in a restaurant. So, the waitress and waiter's job is to bring you food and to bring you drink and to help you while you are eating. Fantastic. A really important vocabulary word there. Thank you, guys. Okay, Delphine, fantastic. Drink. Yes, you can ask them, "Can I have a drink, please?" Okay, it's really important to use the modal can I. It's very polite. Can I have this? Please, may I do this? Can I have some more bread? Fantastic. The order. When the waiter comes over and you're talking to him, that process is ordering. Okay, that's the verb you can do. You can ask the waiter, "I would like to order. Can I order?" Fantastic, really good, Hajar. You've had some great suggestions now. May I have? Fantastic, Sophie. Okay, so Mark has a question. So a person who has an allergy. So an allergy is a condition where if you eat a certain type of food, you become ill very quickly, and it can be quite serious. So Mark, I didn't understand your question. I think it's something you could say to a waiter. In that case, Mark, that's fantastic. You can ask the waiter, or you can point out that my daughter has an allergy. Does this dish, does this meal contain eggs or whatever it is they are allergic to? You can ask clearly what is inside. Fantastic, Mark. Thank you for your question. Tips. Fantastic. So a tip is money that you can give to your waiter in order to signify that they were very helpful in the meal. You can tip your waiter or waitresses if they've done a good job. So Christoph, I do apologize. I'm unsure what capillary is. Okay, so I think we have some really good answers. If I may write down some other vocabulary which could help. We have cutlery. Cutlery, so knife, fork, and spoon, which is what you need to eat. Okay, we have a knife and fork and a spoon. We have a dish or plate. So dish or plate is an assiette where your food comes. If I ask the waiter, "Excuse me, where is my dish? Where is my plate? Where is my meal?" Another vocabulary word is reservation. Reservation. So in order to book a table at a restaurant, you need a reservation. It's a booking. It's a process of reserving a table. Another word we haven't talked about, sorry, are specials. So a special is a specific dish which is not on the menu. So you can often ask your waiter, "Please, can I see the specials?" Sometimes they have it on a board on the wall in the restaurant. Okay, I hope this is clear to everyone. Please let me know if you have any questions. Sophie has a question, fantastic. So booking or reservation is the same, exactly. If I can give you an example, Sophie, I could say, "I will book a table for two," or I can say, "I would like to reserve a table for two." You can use the two verbs interchangeably. They mean the same thing. Fantastic question, Sophie. That's really good. And thank you very much, Mark, for helping with my job. Specials, we say, is à la carte. So we've talked about the kind of foods. We've talked about how we order, what we say. I would just like to now talk about specific vocabulary about cooking. So we've talked about how to order, but most of us here cook at home. So let's talk about some of the vocabulary you might need when you are cooking. So I'm going to label this section cooking in English. So if I give you a verb, I'd like you to make a sentence for me. What does bake mean in English? What could I bake in English? Let's see what you come up with, guys. While you're writing, I'd like to address some of the sentences before. So, Hamza, you think booking is not for a restaurant, I think. It's correct to say, I would like to book a table. You can use the two. If you would like to use reservation, that's perfectly fine. But I've called up to restaurants many times asking to book a table. But you're absolutely right. You can also book a hotel. You can book flights. Fantastic. Okay, fantastic, Sam. Baking is when we put something in the oven to heat up for a specific period of time. Most commonly, we bake cakes. The verb bake is to use for cakes. A chocolate cake, for example, or bread. Fantastic, Isabel. Or scones. Very English. Baking is a specific verb we use for the action of cooking something in the oven. Okay, so let's talk about another method of cooking in English. What does this word mean? To grill. What does it mean to grill in English? And what foods can we grill in English? What foods can we grill? So Hamza, again, bake is the verb we use to cook something in the oven. Primarily, it's used for cakes, for scones and bread, as Isabel helped point out. I hope it's clear for you, Hamza. Please let me know if there's still some difficulties. Yeah, fantastic. We have some really good answers. Teresa, thank you very much for contributing. Barbecue. When we talk about grill, it's normally steak, meat. It gives the meat a very specific texture when we grill things. It's normally very hot. And I can see that you all have a fantastic knowledge of that. Perhaps it's similar to French. Another verb we can use is to boil. What does it mean in English to boil? What can we boil? Okay, if you can tell me a sentence, that would be excellent. What can we boil? What does it mean? Fantastic, Hamza. You can grill chicken. Fantastic, Hajar. Water. We can boil water. We can boil an egg. Fantastic, Teresa. Yeah, we can boil an egg. When you put an egg in boiling water. So can anyone give me a sentence? What is boil? Try and use the vocabulary that the students have listed here, that you all have listed. What does boiling mean? What can you boil normally? Okay, I can help with the explanation. Perhaps my Wi-Fi is a little slow today, but fantastic. Pauline's helped me out here. Boiling is a process of cooking in really hot water. Okay, so for example, if we're cooking an egg in water, we could say, I am going to boil the egg. You can boil vegetables. You can even boil meat, pasta, rice. Of course, we can't eat pasta or rice without boiling them. Fantastic. Yeah, I can see we all have some really good suggestions for boiling. Okay, so we're coming up towards the end of the lesson. Let's do a really quick exercise just to finish off today. So I think it's very appropriate if we do something related to all the foods. Let's test your vocabulary in foods in English. So what food can you think of begin that begins with a T? What foods in English can you think of begin with a T? Okay, let's see who can get the first answer. Let's see who can be really quick at responding and writing. So, what foods in English begin with a T? What could we order from our waiter in English? What foods do you think? Tea, fantastic. Tomato, of course, very similar to French. Tea, tomato, what else? Tomato again. Toast, fantastic. Yes, we spoke earlier about many people having toast for breakfast. Fantastic. There's loads of foods beginning with T. Toast again, a T-bone steak. That's the name for a steak with a bone shaped like a T in the middle. Fantastic, Teresa. Narimen, tagliatelle, a specific Italian pasta. Tacos, fantastic. Tomato. Okay, tuna, time. Fantastic, guys. Thank you all for your contributions. As I mentioned, we're coming towards the end of the lesson now, but before we finish, I'd just like to point out that we do offer free classes, one-to-one classes, if you have CPF. In the description below, you can find a link to Alexandra, one of our sales representatives, and he can explain clearly the process of joining us. For me personally, I'd like to thank you all for joining today. Again, thank you for your contributions. I really hope you've learned something. And of course, I hope you have a fantastic evening, and I hope you're all staying safe. I will be on at 3 p.m. tomorrow. I will see you all then. Thank you very much. Goodbye.